All right, guys, I hope you're all as hydrated as Big Z because we're down to a best-of-3 series, and that's some exciting stuff. Welcome into Bruins Now. I'm your host, Michaela Vernava. There are several factors you can pinpoint as the reason the Bees raked the Leafs in Game 4 at Scotiabank Arena last night, and we're going to touch on all of them, but the most important thing is that they won. A major key, no doubt, was head coach Bruce Cassidy's line shuffling. As of late, shutting down the Bruins' top line was directly correlated to an opponent's win, so Cass made moves. Danton Heinen was bumped to the top line with Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand, while David Pastrnak moved down to the David Krejci line and scored 2 goals on the night.
Well, he's a guy we rely on to score and create offense and actually play a good 200-foot game. He's certainly capable of that. He's getting stronger on the walls, better defensive player than obviously when he broke into the league.
I think big game overall for the whole team, Not easy to win in this building. And hell of a win for us, but it's over and we're going to focus on Game 5.
Joined now by John Campbell, our sports analyst for Oddshark.com. John, with the series knotted up at 2 and the scoring and shots on goal pretty much even on both sides, what are the odds looking like for the remaining 3 games?
Well, in the next game here, the Bruins are minus 150 favorites. So pretty heavy favorites considering the way the series has gone. Home ice having a lot to do with that, and also the fact that the Bruins top line got some scoring going in the last game here. But in terms of series odds, the Bruins are now minus 115 favorites, so only slight favorites, and that's quite a difference from where this series began. The Bruins were minus 160 before the series started to beat the Leafs in the series. That means you had to risk $160 to win 100.
So this series has certainly been very exciting and seems like home ice could be the difference maker. But with the President's Trophy winning Tampa Bay Lightning choking their way out of the playoffs, the way seems to be cleared for the Bees to take the Eastern Conference if they can advance past the Leafs. How has that affected their futures odds to win the Stanley Cup?
Well, there has been a slight impact on the Bruins' futures. What's affecting the Bruins' futures more is just game to game, going back and forth with the Leafs. When they were down 2-1 in the series to the Leafs, the Bruins were 13-1 to win the Stanley Cup, and they're now 9-1 now that the series is tied up to win the Stanley Cup. But we did see some big futures moves overall. The Las Vegas Golden Knights, believe it or not, are now the favorite to win the Cup at plus 550, so around 5-1. The Blue Jackets right there as well. They're 6-1. So we have seen a shake-up since the Bolts had that surprising early first-round exit.
All right, John, as always, great analysis. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Michaela.
As if the Lightning's early exit wasn't baffling enough, the team tweeted a weirdly worded farewell that sounded something like a breakup text. We don't have any words, and we know you don't want to hear them. We understand your anger, your frustration, your sadness, everything you're feeling. We get it. This isn't the ending we imagined, and certainly not the one we wanted. Thank you for being there the entire way. Odd, but I suppose there really isn't a right thing to say when your team wins 62 regular season games and then gets swept in the first round. After all, it's never happened before in NHL history. The Bolts' choke show only perpetuates the President's Trophy curse. In the 33 years since the President's Trophy's inception, only 8 of its winners have gone on to win it all, which means 76% have failed to hoist Lord Stanley's Cup. And that's not the only curse that seems to be alive and well in the NHL. The Bruins' Game 4 victory may have been the hockey gods' plan all along, but Toronto fans are pointing the finger at one man in particular for their Leafs loss. This guy. Fans all across the Six are begging for the rapper to please stop coming out to support his hometown teams. There's plenty of evidence for the Drake curse. Conor McGregor lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov after getting support from Drake. Drizzy wore an Alabama hoodie ahead of the college football national title game, and the Crimson Tide suffered a 44-16 loss to the Clemson Tigers. And of course, the Raptors have had a series of heartbreaking losses in the playoffs, with Drake sitting courtside. Believe it or not, there are even more examples of the Drake curse in the sports world, but I think the point's been made. So Drake may have no award for that, but the Bruins, on the other hand, got trophies, and they're looking to earn a few more. Strong performances from Patrice Bergeron and Zdeno Chara have earned the Vets nominations for some individual honors. Bergeron could take home his 5th Selke Trophy. He's been nominated for the honor 8 years in a row. He's up against the Vegas Golden Knights' Mark Stone and the St. Louis Blues' Ryan O'Reilly for the Best Defensive Forward of the Year. Chara is a finalist for the King Clancy Memorial Trophy, which is awarded to the player who best exemplifies leadership qualities on and off the ice and has made a noteworthy humanitarian contribution in his community. Here's a look ahead at the remaining schedule for this series. Someone will take the lead as these two teams clash tomorrow night at TD Garden. Then it's back to Toronto on Sunday, and if necessary, Game 7 will go down on Tuesday. The last two times these teams met in the playoffs, last year and 2013, the series went the distance. The Bees prevailed in both of them. All right, guys, that's it for this episode of Bruins Now. Stay with us on NESN.com for all your Stanley Cup playoff action, and tune in tomorrow night at 6 for a full hour of Bruins pregame on NESN.